Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you all for being here and allowing me to just be in your space a little bit today. And today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about being the wounded healer and how we can use this to elevate in our paths, to ascend in this journey. So, if you don't know what a wounded healer is, Carl Jung, I believe is his name, he explains it pretty well. But basically, it's a person who experiences a lot of pain or trauma or turmoil, and they use that pain to transmute it into healing either themselves or other people. So they have a lot of empathy. They are very understanding people. They're very loyal people, very dedicated to just spreading love and healing. Your Chiron in your birth chart, like if you're into your birth chart and everything, your Chiron will have a specific planet or house that it's in. What is it called? Planet? It'll have your Chiron, which is the wounded healer aspect of your chart, in a certain planet, and you'll be able to determine how it really affects you personally by looking in your natal chart, basically. So just look up what your Chiron is. I have a Chiron in Capricorn, and throughout my life, I've experienced a lot of instability regarding my foundation and home life, and just feeling secure within my space and feeling like I belong in a certain place. And so as I've grown up, it's kind of led me to be always on the move. Like I'm always in a different space. I'm always moving to a new project or place, and it doesn't even have to be a physical place, but mentally, I'm always in a different, I feel like I always need to be in a different journey, or that I'm always continuing to look for something to fulfill me more. I never really feel at peace with where I am. And I'm obviously working through that now, so it's a lot more easier for me to just be at peace. And the more that I become present in my journey, I'm just able to just relax in whatever phase the universe is presenting to me. Basically, as wounded healers, and I feel like we all have this aspect to us of being able to transmute that pain. That's why we're here. But as a wounded healer, you experience a lot of deep, deep, deep pain that some people might not go through. And I feel like a lot of us that are on this journey to discovering self and just becoming more of who we truly are, we go through that. We go through a lot of stuff that's you're looking at the next person do they go through this stuff? Have they experienced this tumultuous childhood and adulthood, teenagerhood, whatever? Are other people going through this? And definitely they are. You're definitely not alone in this, but it can feel very alone, and it makes you feel like you sort of don't belong anywhere. But I'm here to let you know that our job as a wounded healer is to transmute that pain into our power. So how do we transmute that? Well, first you have to accept your pain. You have to accept, and I don't want to keep describing it as pain because most of that is our ego. We see hurt and disappointment or loss as pain just because our ego just wants to feel something different. But in actuality, most of it is just they're lessons. They're meant to evolve us. They're meant to teach us to grow in this journey. So as an alchemist, you have to take the circumstances that you've been placed in and the experiences that you've had and allow that to teach you and to guide you to where you want to be, to guide you to where you feel like you belong. You got to get into your shadow work. You got to get into the root of why you feel insecure where you are. You got to get to the root of it. We're here to be master alchemists. You have to learn how to transmute all of that so that I wouldn't say all of it, but you have to learn to transmute that so that we don't succumb to our circumstances, and they're meant to show you areas that you need to evolve in this lifetime. And for me, it's really important for me to see myself as a provider because I've never had a provider, pretty much. Like, I've never had the people that I was supposed to have take care of me. And I feel like even as I ascend through my teenage and adult years, that I find myself in situations where I'm being left out, or I just don't feel like I belong. And I know that I have a specific purpose, which is why I don't resonate with a lot of the situations that I'm in. But I also had to learn, like, you have to create the environment that is home for you. You have to feel like you have a sense of home and security within yourself. And that's the first step, like, especially when you're awakening and you're aligning your kundalini energy. Like, your root chakra is the base of your evolution. You know, we gotta get that stable foundation first in order to ascend past the lower chakras and get tapped in and, you know, do all this work and healing and ascending. You got to get grounded. You got to get really stable and secure mentally before you can bring that into the 3D world. And I had to understand that. And so, as wounded healers, we have to become comfortable with what it is that our shadow is showing us, or what these cycles or lessons are trying to teach us. You have to actually accept that within yourself to be able to transmute it into something better. So once you're able to accept, okay, this is the lesson that spirit is trying to teach me, or this is the lesson that my soul chose to learn in this lifetime, because ultimately it was your soul that chose to be here to go through these experiences. Like, as much as we want to hate what we've been through or whatever, you have to learn to love what you've been through, because you chose to come here. You chose everything that you've ever been through, and it was a purpose. Like, there was a purpose and there's meaning behind the things that we experience. So once you stop looking at yourself as a victim and, like, you're just so hopeless and, oh my God, all this bad stuff happens to me, like, you're not the only person. And these things are meant to show you something that you have to overcome in this lifetime, that your soul has to learn to overcome. You choose to transmute that pain into more. We choose to alchemize our pain into pleasure, into joy, into happiness, into ascension. Like, start looking at the things that you go through as ascension steps. If you start looking at your life as a staircase, you'll stop walking back down the stairs. Like, you're trying to reach a new level, so you have to keep stepping. Like, even if it's a tall step you gotta take, even if you gotta stretch a little bit to get there, you eventually have to get up to the next step, because that's how you get to the next level. And that is how our souls evolve, because we go through the work. We put in the work to get to the next level. We put in the work to change what it is that we've been given into what it is that we want. And I wouldn't even say that it's what we've been given, because we chose it. But it's what we came here with. It's what, you know, our surroundings gave to us, our situation gave to us. So we have to take that and learn how to push us forward into more. And for myself, like I said, I have to learn to be a provider. I have to learn. And as a woman, as a young woman, and especially in this society where it's the whole, oh, provider versus blah, 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 like, just as much as I want to be taken care of and provided for, and I want somebody to come save me, and just, I want to just be my feminine, just swept off my feet. I know that when it's time for that to come in, it will, but I have to establish that within myself first. Like, how am I going to expect somebody to provide for me and I can't provide for myself, or I can't provide for that person that's providing for me, you know? And that's a lesson. It's just a lesson that we have to learn. And so I don't shame myself for that. And as I grew up, like, I was very embarrassed about the stuff that I went through, like just being in poverty, or being in the foster care system, or being abused. Like, I really was ashamed of my past. And as I've grown up, like, I've learned, like, this is not something to be ashamed of. This is your power right here. Like, the things that you've experienced are going to help you teach others how to get through their experience. It's going to teach you how to get through your experience continuously in this life, because you're going to face stuff all the time. Like, it's going to be situations where I feel like I'm not secure, or I feel like I'm unstable, and I have to know within myself that I am, that I have that capability within myself to take care of me, to provide for me, to be my own savior, you know? And that's what it's about in this lifetime, is being your own savior. Nobody else can save you, so save yourself, literally. But yeah, as wounded healers, like, you're gonna go through a lot. You're gonna go through that pain, and trust me, I understand. I know, like, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And especially when you look around and you see that, like, everybody isn't going through this. Like, everybody isn't experiencing all the pain and the crazy just stuff that you went through in your childhood, and just so much just stuff that it's just like too much, you know. But everybody isn't going through that, and sometimes you feel like you're doing something wrong, or that you're different, or you don't belong here, or whatever. And it's like, no, you have a different purpose. You have chosen to come here and deal with all this pain. So your purpose is to transmute that, to work through that, to alchemize that into your greatest potential, into your greatest power, and to healing others, especially because as wounded healers, we have very empathetic souls. We have very understanding souls, very, like, just wanting to nurture, to take care of others, because we want that for ourselves. It's what we've been yearning for our entire lives, is to be nurtured, to be taken care of, to be healed, to be loved. And so we naturally want to do that for other people, but we have to do that for ourselves first, because that is the only way we will achieve real security within your life. Like, you can get everything that you think you want, but if you're not internally knowing that, and your soul hasn't learned that lesson internally, you're going to always experience the same cycles. You're going to die in this lifetime and come back the next lifetime and still experience the same cycles, because you haven't learned your lesson. Just take it from me, you know. Even though I go through stuff, and I be going through some crazy stuff, y'all. If y'all know me personally, y'all know I be going through some crazy stuff. But I'ma always stand 10 toes on myself, because I got God on my side. I got me on my side. So I'ma always make sure I'm good. I'ma always show up for me. And even if it takes me a little time and I have to sit with, this darkness and my shadow for a while, I'm still showing up for me by sitting in that darkness and accepting what that is, and accepting the lesson that I need to learn from it, and actually using the wisdom and the knowledge that I've been given to alchemize that pain into more for myself. So yeah, if you feel like you've been through it, and you still might be going through it, and you're continuing to push through, I just ask that you really give grace to yourself and be proud of yourself, because this path is not easy. Like, it really is not. And you can go through some crazy stuff, but you don't want to succumb to your experiences. You don't want to succumb to your circumstances, because that is how we get fallen angels. And you don't want to be a fallen angel. Like, your soul is here to ascend. So you have to know that is my mission here. My mission here is to transmute this. My mission here is to become a master alchemist, so that I may achieve greatness in this lifetime, and so that you may aid the collective in achieving greatness in this lifetime and beyond. Have grace on yourself. Have empathy for yourself. As much empathy and nurturing that you do for other people, do that for yourself, and do it for yourself first, so that you may pour from an overflowing cup and not an empty one, so that you're not left feeling like you're a burden, or that you don't have support, or that you don't have people that you can turn to, because you can give all this stuff to people, but if you still don't feel like you are deserving of that within yourself, you're not going to ever see that support or feel like you're supported. If you don't know within yourself that you are supported, that you are taken care of, that you are provided for, because you've worked to provide for yourself, you've worked to take care of yourself. And that is a lesson for real for the wounded healers, is to learn to take that pain and to turn it into your power. Take care of you. Take care of you. Take care of you first. And you're naturally going to heal others. You're naturally going to be able to take care of people, because it's within you. So yeah, I just ask that y'all take care of yourselves. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind with yourself. And just know that you're deserving of all the beauty and the grace that you want, the love and the fulfillment that you want. You are worthy of that. And as soon as you start pouring into yourself, you're going to feel so much peace and just beauty and fulfillment within your experience, no matter what is being shown to you in the 3D. So yeah, if y'all resonated with this video, or you've taken anything from this video, just give me a like or a comment, or share the video. Subscribe if you feel called to. I will have more content coming out for y'all as I, continue to transition through this little phase of self. But yeah, I also have a Patreon, and I'll have that link below. That just has like more messages, downloads. I have like alkaline recipes over there. I'm gonna start making some tutorials, just a whole bunch more exclusive content. So if you feel called to subscribe to my Patreon, you can do that. It's $7.77 now, and I also have like a free membership where you can just see like little stuff that I'm giving out. So yes, I thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all so much for joining me on this journey continuously. I have so much gratitude for this experience and just being able to share and be authentic to who I am. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.